this is Backdraft, and in this video we are going to discuss all the changes that you can expect for the upcoming Minecraft 1.16 Nether update. The latest Snapshot 20W18A was released a few days ago, and with this update there are a bunch of changes for Redstone, but in this case, if you have missed everything else that this update has to bring, then you are in the right place because we are going to review all the changes up to this current snapshot that are coming with 1.16. So let's get into it. So the biggest changes with the latest snapshot all have to do with Redstone. And the change that everybody has been talking about, which has been very controversial, is the change from the Redstone dot to the Redstone cross. So as you can see, it now points to the 4 blocks adjacent to it instead of just having a single dot of redstone on the block. The other thing is the hitbox has been changed, so it's now a cross-like shape, and there's a little corner free so that I can access the block underneath, so I can smack this grass block and it'll break the redstone. Similar over here, if I try to access the barrel underneath the redstone, I can if I go to the corner. The next big thing is if you take a look at the redstone here, where it's surrounded by 3 redstone lamps, it's now pointing into the 3 redstone lamps, but if I grab a lever and activate the redstone, you can now see it's pointing just at that lamp, so it's just going to activate that lamp, even though the visual change is a little different. That's a little confusing, but I don't think it's that bad, because as soon as you put something here to activate it, it's obvious which block it's actually going to power. The next is the target. Now, like I said, I'm going to be discussing everything up to this snapshot, assuming that you're brand new to this update and know nothing about it. So the target is a brand new block which emits a redstone pulse when it is hit by a projectile. So if I shoot it with my bow, you'll see that the redstone lamp next to it lights up. It emits the pulse when it's hit with the projectile. That is really, really cool. So if I shoot this target, which actually has a redstone pulse going into it already, nothing will happen, but the block does act as a conductor of redstone. That's actually changed in the latest snapshot. Before, that wasn't the case. Now here, this is a pretty big change. Redstone will now power blocks directly next to them. So you see these 2 redstone blocks alongside where this redstone is on top. They will now be powered along with the block that the redstone is going into. So in the previous snapshot and previous version, these 2 redstone lamps would not be lit up by this piece of redstone, but now they are. The next thing has to do with fence gates. So right now you can see that the fence gate is not open, but if you put redstone on any of the blocks adjacent up here, it will cause the redstone gate to open. So it's basically providing power to the block that the redstone gate is occupying, which is a big change. The last thing with redstone is, as you can see, there's a piece of redstone here that's activated, but this redstone lamp is not turned on because the redstone is being directed in that direction. Originally, this would power this block and the other blocks surrounding it, but now it no longer does with this snapshot. So now on to all the other updates for 1.16, and the first to discuss is the ruined nether portal. So ruined nether portals will spawn in the overworld and in the nether in any type of biome, underwater, above water, doesn't matter. They basically are ruined nether portal frames composed of obsidian, crying obsidian, and a bunch of other stones, random blocks that can spawn around them. There are 13 different variations of ruined portal that can spawn. Each ruined portal spawns with a chest. These chests can have 4 to 8 stacks of items inside of them, ranging from things to iron nuggets to golden apples to a bunch of other types of loot. Blocks of gold can be inside these chests. Pretty cool addition. So with 1.16, there are 4 new nether biomes that are being introduced. The first of those is the Crimson Forest. Now the Crimson Forest is going to have a bunch of new types of blocks that spawn within them. The first of which is called Crimson Nylium, which is kind of like a new grass type block similar to mycelium, which grows in these types of biomes. The Crimson Stem, which is kind of like a log equivalent for these biomes, which can be broken with an axe. Shroomlights, which are similar to glowstone, which are naturally spawning lanterns, which produce a light level of 15. Crimson Roots, which are decorative blocks that can be put inside pots, much like flowers. Crimson Fungus, which is used to breed the new mob, the Hoglin. And Weeping Vines, which are red vines, which can be climbed by the player. So the next biome is called the Warped Forest, which is kind of like the green equivalent to the Crimson Forest. In this biome, we have Warped Nylium, which is similar to the Crimson Nylium. Once again, a new sort of grass block similar to Mycelium. We have the Warped Stem, similar to the Crimson Stem, which is a new type of log block. Shroomlights also spawn in this biome. We also have Warped Roots, which are similar to Crimson Roots, which are decorative blocks that can be put into pots. Once again, we have the Warped Fungus, similar to the Crimson Fungus, which is also used to breed the Hoglins. We also have Twisting Vines, which are green climbable vines, kind of like an off-green, different from the regular vines. These are similar to the equivalent of Weeping Vines in Crimson Forests. And then finally, we have Nether Sprouts, which is a new type of plant that can also be composted. The third type of biome is the Basalt Delta. And in the Basalt Delta, there's two new types of blocks that spawn. There is Basalt, which is a new decoration block that can be placed vertically or horizontally like a log. There's no other function for this right now as of the current snapshot. We also have Blackstone, which functions similarly to cobblestone, can be used to make things like furnaces and even stone tools. There are also stairs, walls, and slab equivalents for this block as well. The fourth and final new biome is the Soul Sand Valley. The Soul Sand Valley will spawn with tons of soul sand, a new type of block called soul soil, and have naturally generated fossils, which are made up of bone blocks. New to the update, if you light soul sand on fire, it will now burn blue. This is the same of soul soil as well. Now, soul soil can be used to craft a few new types of items. The first is the soul torch, which is crafted using coal, a stick, and a soul soil. This torch burns blue and produces a light level of 10. The next new type of item is the soul campfire, which is crafted just like a regular campfire, but instead of a piece of coal in the middle, you place a piece of soul soil. This burns blue as well. Now, a huge update with 1.16 is the addition of a new rare ore in the Nether called Ancient Debris, which takes a little bit longer to mine than most ores with a diamond pick, but once you have some, you can smelt it in a furnace to get what's called Netherite scrap. So once you have 4 Netherite scrap and 4 gold ingots, you can combine them in a crafting table to get what's called Netherite ingots. And these Netherite ingots can be used inside of a smithing table with any type of diamond tool or diamond armor to get the Netherite equivalent of that item. Now, with the addition of this new rare ore, Netherite tools will now become the strongest in the game. Now let's talk about the new mobs. The first new mob is called the Strider, and it is a passive mob that spawns in lava lakes in the Nether. Now, if these mobs ever step out of the lava, they will start to get cold and turn blue, as you can see, but then they'll find their way back to the lava to warm back up. Striders can be fit with a saddle, and if you use a warped fungus on a stick, similar to how you would do a pig with a carrot on a stick, you can then ride them across the lava. The next mob we have is the Hoglin. These are breedable hostile mobs that will spawn in Crimson Forests, and when they are killed, they will drop pork chops and leather. They will attack the player on sight, flinging them into the air, and if they make it into the overworld through a portal, they will turn into a zombie Hoglin or Zoglin, which will attack other mobs and are fireproof. Next we have the Piglin, which is a neutral mob that is usually hostile towards the player unless the player is wearing golden armor. Then the player will be able to barter with them and they'll have stuff for sale. They will spawn naturally in Crimson Forests with either a crossbow or a golden sword. There is a new structure added with this update called Bastion remnants. These will spawn in any of the new types of biomes, and they can contain a multitude of things, including magma cube spawners, which will allow for easy magma farms. These structures also have types of treasure chests, which inside of them can contain things like ancient debris, netherite scraps, gold, and even diamond armor and weapons. There is also a new type of block that can be obtained from Bastion remnants called Crying Obsidian. This is how the new Crying Obsidian block looks, which is a really cool texture. 6 Crying Obsidian can be combined with 3 glowstone to obtain the new block called the Respawn Anchor. Now, the Respawn Anchor is an awesome new block that allows the player to set a respawn location in the Nether. The Chain is a new item that will naturally generate in Bastion remnants. These can be used to suspend lanterns as the chain texture connects to the lantern seamlessly. They can also be crafted by using 2 iron nuggets with an iron ingot. And last but not least, one of my favorite updates is the Lodestone. This can be crafted with 8 chiseled stone bricks and a netherite ingot. When a compass is clicked on a lodestone, it will give you a lodestone compass, which will always point back to that lodestone, extremely useful for navigating around the world and finding your way home. So that covers the majority of the updates that you can expect for Minecraft 1.16. If you enjoyed this video, please do not hesitate to hit that thumbs up, and if you really liked it, hit that subscribe button and click the bell for notifications. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.